In this question, we're asked to interpret a vapor pressure diagram for ethylbenzene, pypyridine, and pyrrole. And the first question we're asked is which liquid is the most and which liquid is the least volatile. Volatile means most easily and least easily vaporized. You can just look at the graph and tell that it's most easy to vaporize the green one, pypyridine, and least easy to vaporize the black one, ethylbenzene. So the most volatile one is pypyridine and the least volatile one is ethylbenzene. However, you can also do this from their boiling points. So let's find their boiling points first, and then we can revisit this question. So ethylbenzene. Ethylbenzene is the black one. We want to know its boiling point. Well, on this graph, we have two things. We have the vapor pressure, and we have the temperature in degrees C. The boiling point is the temperature at which the vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure, which, as you recall, in torr is 760. So if we go to the black line and we go to 760 torr and we move down to the temperature axis, we find that the temperature at which this boils is 136 degrees Celsius. Now we need to repeat this for pypyridine. That's the green one. So again, we go to 760 torr on the green line. We come down. Well, I can't really get down there, but we go down to the temperature axis. And if you look here, this is around 106 degrees Celsius when you go down. Finally, we go to the blue line, which is pyrrole. We go to 760 torr. We come down to the temperature axis, and it's very close to 130. So it's a little above 129 and a little less than 130. So I'm just going to put it as 130 as the closest number when you come down. And I apologize, this line is kind of jumping around. It's hard to show it down without it moving. So this is how we determine the boiling points. Now, once we have the boiling points, which liquid is the least volatile? Well, that's the most volatile, excuse me. Which liquid is the most volatile? Well, that's the one with the lowest boiling point, so that's going to be your pypyridine. So that would be the choice here for the most volatile. Remember, volatile doesn't mean angry, going to hit you. It means easily vaporized. Which one's the most easily vaporized? Then the least volatile is one with the highest boiling point, which in this case is going to be ethylbenzene. Again, as we discussed before, you could just look at the graph and answer the first question, but you have to get the boiling points anyway, so you can also do it from the boiling points. Finally, the last thing we have to look at is, suppose a beaker of pypyridine is put inside a sealed tank containing pypyridine gas at 103 degrees C and 529 torr. So we have some liquid in a flask and we have some gas in a flask, and the temperature is 103 degrees and the pressure is 529 torr. After 10 minutes, will there be more liquid in the beaker, less liquid in the beaker, or the same amount? Well, what we want to do is go on our graph to about 529 torr, which is somewhere in this area, and 103 degrees Celsius, which is just about here where I have the cursor. So if you look at this area of the graph, you'll see that the curve for pypyridine is much higher, which means the vapor pressure at this temperature and pressure is higher than the 529 torr. Therefore, some of the liquid will evaporate such that more of the molecules will be in the gas phase. Since this says, will there be more liquid or less liquid? There will be less liquid because more of the liquid will be in the gas phase because this temperature and pressure is lower than the curve.